welcome to Carmen's Australian Storytime. Look at the beautiful sunset today. I don't know if you can see the Glasshouse Mountains in the background, but it's pretty nice tonight. And I thought, what a lovely spot to watch the sunset and read a book. And I'm reading Frank's Red Hat, and it's a CBCA book, illustrated and written by Sean and Avery. Let's see what the blurb tells us. Frank is full of ideas. Some are good and some are not. But when Frank gets a colourful idea in and on his head, will a few nervous penguins stop him from sharing it? Let's see. I'm very curious. And I love inside this book because look at all the hats. How many hats do you have at home? I only have a couple. I'm not really a hat person, but I have a couple of baseball caps I like. What about you? How many hats do you have? I love the colours in this book. Nice, simple ones. There once was a penguin called Frank, and he was known for doing things differently. Frank was full of ideas. Sometimes his ideas were good. I think this is a great idea. Instead of spearing one fish like they have, they've caught one fish, he's using, looks like a big long toothpick. And he's caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fish at once. How clever is Frank? Give that back. But most of the time they were not. Oh no, it's actually a walrus's tooth that he's using. Yeah, I don't think that was a good idea, Frank. That's why the other penguins were nervous the day Frank wore a red hat. You see, the penguins lived in a cold and colourless world. They'd seen plenty of black rocks. They'd seen plenty of white snow. They'd seen plenty of black rocks covered in white snow. Yeah, I've seen that too when I've been down on the bottom of Tasmania. But the penguins had never seen a red. Well, they'd never seen a red anything before. It made them very nervous. What's that? A penguin called Neville asked. It's a red hat, said Frank. Oh, said Neville. Is it dangerous? No. It is perfectly safe. Oh, what's it for? It's for keeping your head warm in style. Oh. Maybe it's not such a bad idea. Here, said Frank, you try it. I'm not sure I want to, said Neville. I promise you will be fine, Frank reassured him. But Neville was not fine. Oh, he's not liking it at all. Just then, a killer whale leapt from the icy ocean depths and ate Neville in one big bite. I wonder why he chose Neville. Do you think it was the red hat? Oh no. And despite Frank's further reassurance that the whale had nothing to do with the hat, the penguins weren't taking any chances. Oh no. They all think it was the hat and they've all moved to a whole another ice block to live on. Poor Frank. Do you think it was the hat? I don't know. Maybe. Frank was disappointed. He left his new idea lying in the snow. Back to the drawing board, he sighed to himself. Poor Neville. Frank thought he must have chosen the wrong colour for his hat. So he tried different colours. Oh boy, look at all the hats he's collecting. But the nervous penguins didn't trust in a single one. Frank would have one last try at creating the perfect hat. I like all the colour on this page, all those colourful hats and all those different colours. wonder if you can read all of the colours that he's got. He's got a lot. And they're all different names. Ruby, fuchsia, violet, lime, copper, apricot, crimson, blue, green, yellow. He spent all night making it, and it was a masterpiece. He showed it to the penguins. "The evil hat will end us all," the penguins wailed. "This hat is not an evil hat," Frank called back. But the terrified penguins were too busy waddling for their lives to listen. Oh no, they think this hat is going to be the death of them. "That's it." Do you see? Everything's in bold, so I have to shout it. "That's it," Frank cried. "I will not make any more hats." Oh, he looks very frustrated. "If you're not going to make any more hats," said a voice from behind him, "may I have the last one you're holding?" Frank looked over his shoulder and was surprised to see a seal sitting there. "You're a seal," said Frank. "I am a seal," said the seal. "And you like my hats?" We all do," he said. All of the seals have been picking up all of his hats. Frank had finally had an idea that others loved. The colourful hats still made the penguins nervous, but Frank didn't mind anymore. He wasn't going to let a few nervous penguins stop him from doing what he loved best. So Frank kept sharing his ideas. "I call it..." Oh, even the walrus has a hat on, and they've put a ribbon or a band-aid around his walrus too. "The scarf." Ooh, ideas that brought warmth and wonder to his winter white world. They're getting excited about a scarf now. Do you have a scarf in your cupboard at home? I don't actually think I have one. I don't know if we need them on the Sunshine Coast. It is pretty warm at the moment, getting warmer by the day. Thank you for joining me on Carmen's Australian Storytime. And I love that Frank kept making his hats because it's what he loved to do. It's a bit like an artist. If you like creating, you got to create in one way or another. Thank you for joining me on Carmen's Australian Storytime. Another good book for the bookshelf. And look at all those cute penguins. And Frank with his red hat. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Bye for now.